Guys, thanks for watching today. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to take the specific steps needed to overcome burnout. If you clicked on this video, you've probably experienced burnout, are experiencing it, or thinking at some point you're going to experience it. Well, you're right. We all experience, we all face it, and it's how we walk through it, it's how we navigate through that time that will either make us or break us. I'm a business owner, I'm a side hustler, I'm a full-time employee and a director of a nonprofit, and it is exhausting at times to try to manage and handle all of that. But I've learned the secret when that giant comes face to face with you, how to conquer it, how to overcome it, and these are real simple steps that you can take to make sure that you can come out victorious through burnout. Enjoy the video. Welcome to the first of a series of YouTube videos helping you guys learn how to grow and sustain a successful photography business. We're going to be talking about things like how do you price your business, how do you network effectively, what areas to network in, what areas not to network in, how to say no to certain jobs, what jobs to say no. I'm going to teach you guys how to travel for free and give you guys templates and resources to help you trade services as you travel. I've traveled all around the world, done many different video and photo shoots, and have been able to do the majority of that for free. I'm going to teach you guys how to do that. But this first video, I think, is foundational in being able to sustain and even grow any sort of business. And that is the idea of using burnout as a fuel rather than an enemy. So most people, when they come to a place, especially those solopreneurs who are starting out and they're trying to get websites developed, they're trying to market, they're trying to edit and get more client base and all that sort of stuff, and it falls on our shoulders, and oftentimes it becomes more weight than we can carry. And so within the first 2 years, a lot of businesses fail, not necessarily because of financial problems, but because they are just burnt out. And I'm going to teach you guys today how to avoid that burnout and how to use it as your fuel. Now, burnout comes in all various forms, and it comes out of nowhere sometimes. Maybe you are working a full-time job, maybe you are working on the line and you're just tired of doing the same thing day in and day out. Maybe you are working at a register or stocking a store somewhere and you're just tired of doing the same thing over and over and over again. Or maybe you've plateaued in the company you're with and there's really no room for growth, and so you look at what are you passionate about, what do you want to be doing, and all of a sudden that burnout starts coming because you know what you'd like to be doing and you're not doing it. Business-wise, if you're working a full-time job and you're starting a business, well, you're working full-time at your job, and so your business startup is going to have to be in the time that you normally have your leisure time or social engagements. Well, we're going to talk about how to discipline yourself with time management, all that stuff, but burnout inevitably is going to hit you at some point. And the way to avoid burnout is this: use it as a friend. When burnout comes, stop right away. When you start feeling that burnout, and step back and reevaluate what are the priorities in your life. Just take the top 3 priorities in your life. And then write out everything else that you're doing, If you're starting a side business, you're feeling burnt out with the business, you're kind of questioning, man, what should I be doing? Take that time. If you're starting to feel burnt out, write out your top 3 priorities and your goals of what you'd like to happen and why you're doing it. The why is important. Then write out everything else that is encompassing what you're doing, and look to see what things can be outsourced, what things can be delegated, and what things you just don't need to be doing. Different stages in your business will determine what answer you give. You know, the beginning of your business, you're going to need to be building that portfolio. So you need to take on jobs, particularly with photography, that you just aren't going to want to do a lot of in the future, but you're building your portfolio. That's a different ballgame than a couple years in when you have your portfolio built and you're still feeling that burnout. I would say for those of you that are working full-time, that are wondering, man, should I be doing something else entirely different? Do the same thing. Stop and write out your 3 priorities in life. What are you working towards in life? Why are you feeling burnt out? What are the things that, when you're feeling that burnout, what are the things you wish you could be doing to replace that time rather than doing whatever it is you're doing? We're going to talk about in future videos how to say no to help you avoid burnout. I'm going to give you guys different tips on how to avoid burnout, but this video is particularly talking about when burnout comes, because it will. When it comes how to use it as a friend, it is there to remind you that you're a human. It's there to remind you that you need to step back and reprioritize and refocus your efforts. I started a business a few years back, a photography business, no business background, not really any photography background either. And I picked it up, I learned the trade, and I learned a lot about business within the first couple years. And within my first 16 months, I had started from day one to 16 months, I had made $22,344. Now, I focused merely on commercial work. I didn't really do a whole lot of portraits, although I did some to build portfolio and stuff like that. But my efforts were really spent on zeroed in on doing the things I want to do. Now, inevitably, you get distracted with things. Time happens, or time seems to just fly by, and you're wondering, what do I do with this now? What do I do with these clients that are calling me? And do I say no to them? Well, I really need the money right now. I can't say no. And you inevitably end up getting in a cycle of burnout where you'll feel great for a couple weeks maybe, or maybe just a week, and then you'll go right back into feeling burnt out. It's gonna happen. It happens to everyone that is productive, everyone that is trying to start something new especially. And I would say if this is you, just right now, step back right after this video, write down the 3 largest priorities you have, and then write down everything else that you're doing around that. And then evaluate what you can be delegating and what you can be throwing off. Because unless you can learn to zero in on the thing that you really are passionate about and the thing that you find joy doing, you're going to continue the cycle of burnout. I haven't felt burnout in a really long time, and because I've learned the discipline of delegating and saying no and time management. And those we're going to be talking about in a future video. So if this has been helpful, please subscribe, because I will be teaching you guys more about photography, about lighting, about growing your business, how to get more clients, ways to network, all those sorts of things, how to price your photography or videography, all those sorts of things we're going to be talking about. Please, though, subscribe so you don't miss the next video.